Hi everyone, this is Candace. Let's get started in doing a great mat workout. So grab the mat and some weights and join me. Here we go.
And then hug the knee into the chest. Okay, so let me start. Today, we're working on yoga and Pilates to bring synchrony and choreography back into the energy systems of the body. And then we'll hug the other knee into the chest. So what I'm doing is I'm recording today's session so that you can go back and do this again and again when you have time. Now we're leaving the feet up, stretching the arms out, and circling this knee or leg around. The purpose of circling this top leg around is to loosen up and awaken the muscles around the head of the leg bone. Hello, friends. You are welcome. I'm so glad that you are here, and it is good that we are here and back together. Now circle the leg bone around the other way. And the purpose of moving this top leg bone around is to teach the abdominal walls to hold in with stability and strength. We're going to use some light weights today. And I'm recording this session so you can go back and do this again and again. So anything pressing down into the floor, push down. And use the energy from that pushing down to connect, collect, and contract the abdominals. All right, now let's bring both legs up. I'm going to go a little bit fast, so it's okay if you need to slow down. Let's tap the toe in the pool. So drop one leg down with a fixed knee position, and then the other. But again, it's the same principle here. The movements of the leg are guiding and teaching the abdominal walls on stability and strength. So your abs become the earth. Your abs become the strength and the power. So anything touching the floor, push down into the floor. But at the same time, let there be an inner flow of energy transferring from the movement of the hips now up towards the belly. If you're like me, we've just been indulging. And so we're like finding those abdominals all over again. After 3. And then we'll just hug both knees into the chest. Puff the low back out, round the upper back, drive the chin into the chest, and then rock all the way up. Let's come to a seated pose and take the legs out a little bit wide, not super wide, but then move the sits bones into the floor. Inhale and circle up. Exhale, extend back. Inhale, come up, and exhale to forward fold. Inhale, exhale. And on your next exhale, scoop the belly in and roll up. So we'll bring the legs a little closer together, bend the knees a little bit, and lean the upper body back about 20 degrees, not very far. You can use your hands to help you here. We're just going to try lifting one leg, then the other. So we're doing this again. We're doing some movement in the leg. We're marching these legs a little bit reclined to wake up the abdominals so they become the force that we're holding, that's holding everything together. After 3, so really scoop the abdominals in. 2 and 1. Let's try taking the arms in front like I Dream of Jeannie arms, they're crossed, and go down a little. And when you come up, lift one knee, tap the elbow to the knee, and back down. So recline, pull the other knee in as you come up and in. So this is really me taking a lot of strength in the abdominals to keep the spine because gravity's pulling your upper body backward. So keep a little bit of a curve in the belly, but really work on scooping the core. So don't worry about the legs or the arms as much as you're working on squeezing into those abs, because we have to do some harder ab work because we haven't been doing it for a while. And this is the season of kind of overindulging. 3, 2, and 1. And then we'll come around into child's pose. Let's take a moment to breathe. So coming all the way down, around and into child's pose. Okay, friends, I'm glad you're here. I'd like you to take 5 slow breaths with the intention of gently stepping into an expansive place of healing. So for me, that might be like a forest, a garden. So with these 3 remaining breaths, I'm like decorating the interior places in my body with the beauty, the sparkle, and the magic of a deep, expansive, healing place. 1 more breath. Let's come up into hands and knees. And let's march the legs again. So first, just make sure that the arms are level with the shoulders level with the back, the shoulder blade points pull down. And then all we're doing is lifting one leg, putting it down, and then the other. So harden the abs so they become like a steel plate, almost like you're at a table. And the core is the strength of that table. The core of your abs is the strength of the table. Pull the shoulders down and away from the ears so that there's no crunchiness there. After 3, 2. So leave this leg up, and we'll do that thing where we twist the leg out and in. So you're rocking the knee back and forth, and you're also rocking the foot in the opposing direction. After 3, squeeze the abs. 2, and then we'll step this leg forward and through and into a low lunge. So allow that back leg to twist, kind of rock your hips side to side, and allow the back leg to twist, because I want you to get the idea that you can move your hips for this next move. So they can rock towards the outer hip and they can rock towards the inner thigh. Then take this hand that's the opposite of the knee in front of you and twist open and closed. Now, again, it's okay for your hips and your leg to revolve and twist open and closed with the spine and the arm. I want to focus on getting all the energy centers open and available. So we've got the hips going, we got the spine going, we've got the shoulder going, even the neck. But make sure everything is in alignment. So that if you were like moving a rope, right, it's all moving sort of together, influencing each other. After 3, breathe out, and then come back down. Push the hips back into half monkey stretch, and then circle this front foot around. I'm doing a lot of movement today. If you want to just pause and take a stretch and use this as your living meditation, then do that. Now circle the foot around the other way. But sometimes just being in your body, just like noticing your toes and wiggling your finger or stretching your back does completely change your mental state. Now point and flex this front foot and let the whole body rock with that foot moving. Really get into the calf the Achilles tendon there. And then push forward into low lunge. Let's lift the back knee. So press the hips forward, tuck the back toe, lift the back knee. Now from here, practice turning that back leg so that the sole of the foot is pressed down, and then twisting back to low lunge. So you're back on the balls of the feet. So it's twist open, twist closed. That's one way I'm thinking about it. Twist open and twist closed. Try that a few times. That's okay to put some weight on that back foot and kind of redistribute and rebalance before you move on to the next movement. But notice that it's a chain. It's not just your foot, it's not just your hip, that all parts of your body have to choreograph and figure out what they're going to do next. Twist open and hold, press the soles of the feet down hard, drive down to rise up to warrior one. Bow and arrow the arms and open up to warrior two. Lean back into reverse or exalted warrior two. Come up, straighten the front knee, hinge hand to knee into what I'm going to call triangle pose. Bend the front knee and then kind of jump up onto that front leg, balance there. And then when you're ready, lift up and into what I'm calling star pose. From here, try bending the supporting knee and straightening it. All right, are wibbling and wobbling? That's okay. Really respect what the supporting knee is having to go through right now. It's not used to doing this sort of balance work. Of course, your foot is probably rocking and rolling, but that knee is getting a really good education. So let's work on this one a little bit longer today, friends. Maybe stay down longer. Maybe flap the back leg a few times, like as a pump, dropping you down and lifting you up. Or maybe just bend, hold, and hover. And then come back up to warrior two. So land the back leg, dig the legs in. Remember, the legs are pushing out and they're pressing down and in. They're pressing down and out and they're pulling in. Twist back to the front in warrior one. Extend back. And then cartwheel all the way forward and down. Let's come all the way back. Down and into hands and knees. And then once you get there, let's walk the legs again. Same thing we did before, where you lift one leg and then the other. And this is the exact same thing we did a few moments ago. We're on our backs and we were moving the legs like in a pumping motion. It's the exact same thing, but now we're having to be responsible for making the abs the center of the strength universe, as opposed to the earth being the source of stability and strength. Do 3 or 4 more. So that you're now lifting and holding the opposite leg from before. And then twist the leg. Remember, this is where you're rocking the knee and the foot in opposing directions. Keep sort of pumping energy from those 3 circles. There's 3 spheres. The pelvis is one, the middle body is one, and then the upper body. And they're sort of pumping energy into each other. And then we'll take this leg and step it forward and through and into low lunge. So then remember, we're shifting the hips left and right, almost like you're rolling from your inner knee to your outer knee, sort of. And the whole purpose of doing this is just to allow you to know that no movement is an island. that sometimes when your upper body moves, it may cause a movement, a ripple in the lower body. So now the opposite hand, not the one by the knee, twist that side open. It's okay if your lower body twists open too, and close. It doesn't have to though. So just manage that choreography. But the goal is to get the spine awake so that the mind can awaken. We're kind of playing on that edge of effort and ease, the push and the pull. Breathe out. And then bring the arm down. From here, we push the hips back and forth. At any time, if you find something interesting, like, oh, there's a stretch here that I kind of really want to dig into, then do that. I'm just offering you a big variety of movement patterns today to kind of keep the energy ball rolling. Let's push back and hold. Keep the low back kind of scooped out. Now circle this front foot around. And then the other way. And then point and flex. And then push all the way forward. We'll lift the back knee with the toes tucked, lift and hold. Balance the two energy sides and then twist the back leg so the sole of the back foot seals to the floor and then twist back. So we're twisting that leg open and closed. So normally when we work on twisting the leg open and closed, we're sort of just doing open-ended, open chain exercises. We rarely do this when our feet are attached to the earth, but that's really how we are in real life. Twist open and close and scoop the belly. Twist open and hold now. Really put some energy into that back foot. Now push into the front foot as much and then press down to come up to warrior one. So remember, when your upper body comes up in warrior one, your lower body is sinking down, always creating that lengthening, that hatha. Twist open into warrior two, like a bow and arrow arms, and sink down another millimeter. Extend back into exalted warrior two and sink down another millimeter. Really squeeze the muscles around the legs. So don't let the knees like kind of wobble around and buckle. Come back up, straighten the front knee, hinge at the hips, and tip over into triangle. Bend the front knee, kind of jump forward, pause there, figure out how you're going to orient your body weight, and when you're ready, lift off into a side star pattern. Bend the front knee and straighten. I really want you to experiment and play around. That front knee can bend, let's say 90 degrees, right? We all know it can go further than that. But are you willing to try that? And notice how your weight distribution changes when you get lower. That's because of the way we're shaped and our joints. Also a little bit of gravity. Be willing to come down and hold. Be willing to pause. Give this back leg a couple of flaps up and down and up and down. And again, really honor the education that your knee's doing a lot of the balance work here because it's moving, it's staying like supple. Come down and hold. And then step back into warrior two. So when you come down into warrior two, kind of spread the feet further apart from each other. Level the pelvis. You may have gotten into a pattern of tipping it. Turn forward into warrior one. Really dig into the legs now. Drop down, drop down, drop down. And then extend back and hold. Inhale, come up. Exhale, come all the way down. So cartwheel all the way to the floor. Let's come around to a seat. So really good job. Grab one weight. If you have lighter and heavier weights, grab one of the heavier, 5, 8 at the heaviest weights. Hold it by the ends and then lean a little bit back, scoop the belly in and up, roll the shoulders to the back, then twist. Elbow towards one side floor, elbow towards the other side floor. All right, you really have to manage and figure out how far you recline, how far you twist. Don't try to twist all the way. There's not a lot of benefit to going as far back. There's nothing really back there that we need to learn. We can always just turn our whole body. What we're learning, though, is how to manage the waterfall of gravity against the strength of the abdominals, which are the thing that hold our spine open as we age and allow us to be full of prana, be full of life. After 3, and 1. Come back to center and hold. So we're going to round the back, roll a quarter of the way down, push the weight, curl more, and then roll back up. Bring the weight to the chest, hinge halfway back, round and roll a quarter of the way down and hold. As you push the weight, curl the upper chest more, and then scoop the belly as you roll back up. Pull the weight in, hinge back, roll a quarter of the way down, push the weight round and roll up, bring the weight in, hinge back, roll, push, and curve more as you come up. Weight in, lean back, round. Curve more as you push and round up. How about 2 more? Back and curve and push, roll up. Lean back and curve and push, roll up. You're fantastic. So let's switch over. If you have a lighter weight, switch to a lighter weight. If you don't, I believe in you. We're going to rack one weight and push it up like Statue of Liberty, a couple of overhead presses. Now we're going to roll to the opposite side of the body. Right? So it's like you're going to get up, because in fact, we are. So let's start here. Push the weight up. We're going to leave it there. Push with the same side leg, and then scoop the bottom knee up underneath you. Let go with the hand on the floor, and do come up. Come back down, hand to floor. Take this knee out from under you, land on that hip. But let's say this, roll down. As you roll down, bend the elbow and bring the elbow to the floor. So start, push the weight up, roll up, hand to floor, push and get this knee up underneath you. Come up, come back down, knee out, land on your hip, roll down, elbow to floor. I think you've got it. It's push, roll up, hand, knee, come up, come down, hip, roll down as you bend the elbow. So if you can remember that, just keep going. The whole point is to get up and to use your abs to help manage the transition. Now, there's a reason I actually picked this one this week. It's because I was practicing defensive tactics with my son, and he was telling me that one of the most important things we need to learn to do is get up fast. Because if somebody means to push you around, they can, but you have to be able to get back to your feet kind of in a hurry. So if we can learn this move with just this little baby weight, so try to go a little bit faster now. Kind of go push up, come all the way up, and then down. All right, if there's any part of this that's like really challenging you, like maybe my neck's beginning to bother me, or the wrist, then kind of figure out a way around it. Tuck your chin more, or don't push into your hand as much. So come up one more time. Stay up. Arm up overhead. Let's do a couple of tricep extensions here. So whatever pose you're in, I'm not making a big deal that it has to be this perfect pose. Whatever pose you're in, make it the pose that you're in. Does that make sense? In other words, align joints so that they're supporting each other. Now let's do about 10 of these tricep overhead presses. And then we'll come all the way back down. All right, we're in a seat. We switch the weight to the other hand. I guess we have another side. In reality, you don't need to be able to get up on both sides evenly, but we want to exercise it anyway. Remember this Statue of Liberty arm. Roll over onto the opposite side a little bit. Roll down as you do that, bend the elbow. Roll back up as you do that, straighten the arm. Get that hand. Lift up, get the knee. Come all the way up. So the hard part is coming down in a safe way that you're not putting too much pressure on your arm or the arm that's up. So you could always put the weight down, because again, in reality, there wouldn't be a reason that you'd be holding a weight. The part of this, though, that I'd like you to focus on is rolling up and the transition from hip to knee, because that's a really important thing. That's the part that we get stuck on. In reality, when we go to get up, you know, after we've been doing something on the floor or the ground for a while, notice what you're overusing. Notice what you're not using. And now let's speed it up. So go, I'm going to say double time, kind of as fast as you can, because we do have to practice at different speeds, not just for the health of the muscle, but because gravity has a certain speed and tempo that we can't overcome. We can't just wish it to be different. We have to work as fast sometimes as the things around us. I'm going to let you keep going. I know you're done with this. I know you're done with this, but this is actually a really good thing to learn, is how to get up sort of in a hurry. Keep the chin sort of tucked. Don't let the head bobble around. So then come up and stay up. When you get there, make a pose of it. And then elbow, bend and extend. Up overhead, tricep extension. I'm breathing. I got a little breath work going on here. So let me take a deep breath. Let's do about 10 more like this. I hope you feel these triceps. Triceps are really good because they push. Sometimes we need to push things away from us. And then let's come all the way down to the back. Your choice, you can use 2 heavy weights or 2 light weights. I wouldn't do one of each though. I'm gonna go light and we'll do super pullover where the arms go up overhead and then drag back slowly. Now I'd like you to involve the legs. I'm going to bring my knees up as my arms go overhead and then put my legs down as I drag back slowly. Again, there's not really necessarily one that's better than the other. We're always trying to add a variety of movements so that the body and the mind learn to choreograph, synchronize, and harmonize. Maybe slow down so that you can begin to connect with the space between the activity. This is a time of year where there's a lot of activity. Every day there's this long to-do task list and a real timeline. This has to happen by this time, and this has to happen by this time. So if we slow down our movement practice, what we gain is time. What we gain is a calm, focused attention. One more. Leave the arms up, leave the legs up, and we'll just do a couple of chest flies. Take the arms out wide and in. Involve the legs. Open and close the knees. But I'm going to challenge myself to do the opposite of what my arms are doing. So I'm going to stop talking because I cannot put this together if I'm doing something else with my mind. Four. Scoop the abs. Remember when we're leaning back? Remember with the rolling up slowly? 2 and 1. We'll put the weights down. Hug one knee into the chest, stretch the other leg out on the floor. The knee you're holding, take it across the body and do a gentle hip, low back twist. Take the opposite arm, stretch it out, bend at its elbow, and turn your face toward that arm. Let's do 3 breaths. That's spiral energy from the root up to the crown and back down to the root. Up and down. One more time. Come back to center. We'll bring the other knee into the chest. And then move into that twist. One hand pulls the knee across. Take the opposite arm out. Bend at the elbow and turn your face towards it. Three long breaths that spiral from root up to the crown and back down. One more. And then move all the way out into Shavasana. Remember, Shavasana is just usually lying flat on your back with your arms and legs spun open and a little out, the chin down. So as you're moving into your final resting pose, I want to remind you the purpose of Shavasana is to return the mind body back to the earth. Keep sinking down. Above all, allow yourself to simply be without requirement. You're not trying to get anywhere or be anything. Give yourself permission to allow this moment to unfold. So now find the breath and allow it to nourish you in every way. Let it sparkle its light. Let it enter into those frozen, cold, dark places. Allow it to light. Allow it to warm. Allow it to move. And now synchronize the movements of your mind with that. So if your mind was on a different track, a different wheel, bring it back to the sound, tempo, and movements of the breath. In every way, you are feeling better. Good things are coming your way. Can you open? Can you soften? So now take a slow breath that goes down deep into the middle of that deep, healing, expansive place. As if it's scooping up or gathering up the best of the best, so that when you exhale, you can distribute that to every cell, to every system. So then slowly begin to roll to your side. When you're ready, take a slow, deep breath. Wait patiently and allow the exhale to just happen. When you're ready, open your eyes, and then gently, I invite you back up. And coming back up and into Sukhasana, bringing the hands together, rolling the shoulders onto the back. Inhale and circle the arms out and up. And then exhale, bring the arms out and scoop that energy back into the heart where you and I meet in peace. Namaste.